Hello everyone and welcome once again to my channel. My name is Portelles, and for today's video we have a brand new episode of Extraordinary Talks. And this time we have a very special guest because we are going to be talking to a candidate of Miss Grand International and more precisely Miss Grand France. Her name is Élodie Sirulnick, and I am more than thrilled to present to you the conversation that we had about many things. Everything going for her preparation for Miss Grand International, the expectations, the pageant itself, and many more surprises. As usual, I really hope that you enjoy this conversation. If you do, don't forget to leave a like so that it gets recommended to more people. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. And last but not least, let us know in the comment section, what did you think about the questions, the answer, the dynamic, anything that you want to express yourself about. So without further ado, my friends, I will not keep you waiting. I will meet you with Élodie right after the intro. Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Extraordinary Talks. And just like I promised, here I have my very special guest, Élodie Sirulnick. How are you doing, my dear?
Everyone, how are you, Luis?
I'm doing so well. So happy to have you here with us.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk.
First of all, before we even get into the interview, I just wanted to congratulate you because you've been selected as the new Miss Grand France 2021. How do you feel about this?
Thank you. I feel so honored. I went into it. I was excited to be there. I was there to give it my all, but I wanted to go and have a good time and make friends and live the new experience. So when I was crowned Miss Grand France, it was amazing. I wasn't expecting it, but now I'm 100% in, and I'm just so happy, and I feel so blessed to be Miss Grand France.
I can only imagine the feeling. So happy for you, and we're rooting for you. So you got this. Something that I really like to ask my guests every time that I start an interview is, how would you introduce yourself to someone who is not familiar with you at all? So what are the few things that you mention at first?
Yeah, so my name is Élodie Sirulnick. I'm 24 years old. I'm bilingual. So I grew up most of my life in the US, in New York, Long Island specifically, until 18 years old. And then I decided to go to France for my superior studies. And I stayed there until last year. I really wanted to reconnect with my French side. My mother's French and my dad is American. So just like immerse myself in the culture and just reconnect with that side of me. So I had a great years there, and now I'm back in the US for my preparation for Miss Grand. But I guess like some hobby things about me is that I like going to the gym. I love dogs. I'm a dog person.
Me too.
I like cooking. I'm not good at pastries though. I'm good at like main dishes, but
yeah,
anything that has to do with like sweets, I'm not good at. I usually burn them. Some random fact about me.
Very nice. So tell me a little bit about your background. So your heritage, you said that you were born in the US?
Yeah, so I was born in the US. My mother is French and my dad is American. So I've always spoken in French to my mother.
Okay.
And English to my dad.
Okay, that's amazing. Actually, and how at ease do you feel with French? Like,
I don't even know like what my first language is, because I always grew up speaking both of them at the same time. So I'm 100% in both.
That's honestly so impressive. I actually live in Montreal. So here in Montreal, we speak both English and French. And this is really the first time that I have a candidate on my channel that I get to talk with, not only in English, but also in French. Actually, people know this about me on my channel, but no one has ever heard me speak French.
French? Et parler en français alors.
Et on peut parler en français un petit peu alors.
Mais du coup, on a un accent un peu différent, mais c'est quand même le français, on se comprend et c'est ce qui est important.
Exactement. Le français au Québec, puis le français en France, c'est pas pareil, mais il y a quand même des similarités.
Un peu entre les deux. Je suis partie pour la première fois au Montréal il y a quelques semaines. Et c'est vrai qu'il y a des expressions qu'en français, qu'en France, on n'a pas forcément. Donc j'ai trouvé ça plutôt drôle, et en plus c'est des expressions qui sont cool, donc un peu style américaine, donc c'est...
Oui, c'est vrai. Moi, en fait, quand j'allais à l'université, avant que je finisse mes cours, on avait beaucoup d'étudiants de France qui venaient. Et du coup, tu voyais, surtout comme pour pour le premier trimestre de la session, il y avait plein d'expressions qu'ils ne comprenaient pas. Ils étaient, ah, mais il a dit quoi? Non, du coup, j'ai pas compris. Fait que c'est quand même une adaptation.
Ah oui, oui, oui.
Oui, very nice. Okay. So, can you tell me what was your first reaction when, okay, so if you go back to your crowning moment for Miss Grand France, what was going through your mind as your name was announced? You were handed the crown and the sash.
Yeah, I mean, so many things. I mean, I was hand in hand with my friend Erica, and we were just looking at each other, and we were both like almost panicking, like, oh my God, like it's one of us. I'm so happy. And when they called my name, the first thing I did was I looked at my mom, who was in the room, and she was actually the only person who was there, like from my close friends, relatives. She was the only one who was able to come because our family's from the south of France.
Yes.
And, you know, with like COVID and everything, it's just, people are a little hesitant to go up to the north into Paris.
Yes.
So my mother was actually the one who accompanied me. So first thing is I looked at her and I was like, I did the face like that. oh my God face. And then I don't know, so many like emotions. I was just so happy. And then I was like a little overwhelmed because I'm like, wow, like this is going to change the course of my next few months of how
Yes.
my life is going to evolve. And then I got the crown placed on my head and I was like, all right, this is it. We're in. I'm in it to win it now. I'm ready. And yeah, just like everything kind of, in French we say ça s'enchaîne. Everything just kind of like fell in place after that. Like I had a whole bunch of accounts that messaged me, and then my family was sending me messages, and I made videos, and I was taking pictures, and it was just a whole sequence of events after that, and just a lot of gratefulness. So
Oh, I can only imagine all of the emotions, and everything going through your mind at that point, especially because, I mean, for this type of pageant, especially Miss Grand is such a huge pageant, right? It has like a worldwide reputation. So for you to be given this title, it's incredible. So congratulations once again. I'm so, so proud of you.
thank you so much.
So do you have already like some pageantry experience, or was this your very first pageant?
So I do have pageantry experience, more in like the national pageantry. So in France, we have obviously Miss France, which is the most well-known one. It's not like the other countries where there's like multiple different organizations that are just as important. In France, it's really they're concentrated on the Miss France pageant. So I did a few different local pageants in that one. I got a few times first runner-up title, and then I got actually one Miss title for a local one in 2020.
Okay.
So it was a really great experience because I mean, I represented a town in the regional pageants that they have. So it was really fun, and I made a lot of friends, and I mean, it's totally different than Miss Grand, because Miss France is more about like elegance, poise, not doing too much, but still like staying yourself. And Miss Grand is obviously like yourself and even more, and being out there and sending messages and everything, and taking videos of yourself. So two totally different ballparks, but yeah, I still had a few different experiences in my local pageants before.
Still an amazing experience, right? Because it prepares you for the pageant. But I definitely agree with you. When you mentioned that Miss Grand is just like extra.
Yes.
I remember the first time that I watched one of the shows, I was like I was not ready for that. Because I'm used to watching like more like even like when you think of like Miss Universe, for example, like it's a little bit more like, yes, there's like a production value, but it's still very structured, very, Miss Grand was like special effects and
yeah, Miss Grand is like, it's in your face, like pizzazz, sparkles, extraness. It's a dream. I mean, I love it. Miss Grand is like the most entertaining pageant to watch, in my opinion, because there's just so like the camera angles, the stage, the girls are always so well prepared. I've just loved watching this pageant in the last years that I've been watching it, and just like that's why it's so crazy for me that like I'm going to be on that stage. I can't even like I realize it, but I don't think I fully realize it yet. I'm just preparing myself to like be the most extra version of myself while staying me and my genuine myself.
Absolutely. Just be yourself, but have the most fun that you possibly can.
That definitely, you see that on stage when the girls are having fun and they want to be there, you so see it.
Yes, absolutely. What would you say, like Miss Grand, why Miss Grand International in particular, right? So as you said, you had like some regional experience in pageantry. You also had some national experience afterwards. But when was the moment that you decided, okay, it's time for me to go to Miss Grand International and give it a try?
Yeah, so like I was saying before, I've been watching for a few years now because they always have it on YouTube, and it's a
Right.
very easy pageant to like be able to watch and have fun watching. Um, Valentina's year when she won, I mean, it inspired me because the show was like amazing. And I was like, oh, I really like to go to that pageant one year. I'd like to take part in that. And then I let the time go because I wasn't done with my studies yet. I really wanted to finish on, I wanted to focus on finishing my master's degree and finishing my school before attempting an international pageant. And then I watched again in March because I believe it was the first big pageant
Mhm.
after the whole COVID uh, pandemic. So I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so like making me dream. Like I want to be on that stage. And I mean, everything about it just screamed like, you need to try, like you need to like see how you could like what are the steps to take a part of it. So I actually signed up in May, I believe,
Okay.
end of May. And yeah, they sent me the paperwork that I could fill out and everything. And then the pageant was in July. So I didn't have that much preparation time, but I don't know, just the pageants inspired me, especially 2019 really inspired me when they were in Venezuela. I thought the pageant was really beautiful and the events that they took part in were super cool. So
So incredible. And like you said, well, the stars align for you because if you applied in May, now it's already happening. We're almost there. It's crazy. And I remember this year when they did it, so for Miss Grand International 2020, like you said, there were trailblazers in that sense because most pageants were not even happening. They were just pushing the dates or going virtual. But Miss Grand was really able to, push through it and deliver a show that all the pageant fans were so happy because we were dry at that point. There was nothing happening.
absolutely. I was watching it live. I was like, how did they pull off like such a great show amidst like with everything going on right now? Just how in general? I was just so blown away. I was like, this is a sign. I need to try to participate in that pageant. And one of the main things that I was telling during our interviews and everything for the Miss Grand France pageant, I was saying, I really want, like, if I win this title, one of my main goals is to make it known that France is, like we're a serious candidate, like a serious organization, and we want to win, and I want to be the one to represent and give it my all and show that maybe Miss Grand isn't like the most known pageant in France, but we're still here and we're still ready and we're still motivated. So
Absolutely.
that was like my main like I guess goal as Miss Grand France, and I feel like I'm able to, I really try to reach out to like the fans and everyone, and I answer right away, and I really want to make it known that France is here and that we love Miss Grand and that we want to be a part of it.
Absolutely. It's an opportunity, for you to, if it's not as known in France, it's an opportunity for you to introduce the pageant to the country. And also, if you're able to perform well and you're able to deliver at that point, it's going to bring not only visibility to the pageant nationally in France, but also it's going to bring visibility to France internationally, so it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
How are you preparing for the pageant? So obviously a big part of it for me personally, when I think of a pageant, I always tell the girls when I, get to meet them one-on-one, I'm like, have fun, enjoy the moment, make friends and all. But it's also a competition and you need to be ready physically, mentally, so many different things to think of. So how are you taking care of yourself and making sure that you are prepared?
Yeah, so I totally agree with you with the physical and mental part. Um, so I was crowned in the middle of July. So obviously like summer vacation where you're going to the beach and maybe you're eating a little more sweets and everything. So I really wanted to take the summer to focus like more mentally and like prepare myself mentally and look at like how other girls prepare and everything. And then as soon as like September hit, I was like, this is the moment, like we need to prepare seriously now. So I started really focusing on like the physical aspect, going to the gym multiple times a day sometimes, watching what I eat, obviously, watching a lot of pageants online to try to get like the walk and the attitude and the face and be able to see how I can tailor that and make it my own. Because I think that it's like copying someone else or someone else's walk isn't the best. It's more about creating your own and being yourself on stage. So I've been focusing, I mean, I guess that could be the physical part, focusing on the walk, the body, the face. And now that we're getting like a month closer, like almost a month to departure, I'm keeping the physical part, but I'm focusing even more on the mental aspect. On obviously the days are going to be very full, where you have a whole bunch of activities that we're going to do. Like you were saying, we're in the competition atmosphere. The girls are adorable. I mean, we've been talking a lot on messages and they're just amazing. I could tell that we're going to have a great time. So I'm not too worried about like any negativity, but it's more of like preparing myself mentally for maybe the stress or short nights. So yeah, I can't wait. I've been like I was saying before, I've been binge watching things online, on walks, on like Valentina's walk, on Ina's walk, on everyone's walk, and seeing how I can tailor it to myself. So I post a lot of it on Instagram. I've been posting more videos of catwalks and everything. So I
Yes,
a lot of people love
I
it.
actually saw. You put it on Reels and it's just so
Yeah,
amazing. I love Reels.
because I had people sending messages like, oh, you don't post like your walk, your training and everything. Can you please post it? So I was like, yeah, no problem.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's important because it's part of the journey of the experience with the fans mainly. And that's how they get to know you as a candidate and they, get excited about what you're going to present on the final stage. But I wanted to add to what you were saying about the walk. I couldn't agree more with you on that point. Sometimes I've seen cases of candidates who like they try to copy the walk of like iconic, let's say like beauty queens, because you automatically associate it with like this is like what they want. This is,
the
what they're
winning walk.
expecting.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you can get inspired. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to adapt it to yourself and make sure that it works for you. Because it's not because it works for someone else that it's gonna work for you. And also people will notice. And I've witnessed this, how the fans can turn against a candidate just because they're like, oh, she stole the walk.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
glad that you're inspiring, and gathering information, learning a lot as much as possible, and just, focusing on you first of all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I watched like since I've been watching a lot of pageants online, I've been seeing a lot of like Catriona Gray like remake walks. And I think her walk is beautiful and that she does it so well, but it just like when it's someone else who does it, it just doesn't have the same impact. And you could tell that it's not like them naturally. So I've been really focusing on trying to find my own signature walk and
Perfect.
tailoring the catwalk to myself and my personality.
Exactly. And sometimes, people do it like amazingly, like they're very, very good at it. But the first thing that comes to mind for people is like, I already saw this somewhere. And
Mm-hmm.
you don't want that to be the first impression of someone when they see you walk. You want to
Absolutely.
be stand out.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So you were talking about the preparation and, watching videos. Are you working with a team of people to help you prepare, or are you doing this solo? What is the process like?
So I do have an organization who's very like into pageants and that have like a pageant experience. So they're able to give me some tips and pointers. But I'm also like, I'm kind of a perfectionist. So I spend a lot of time like looking at myself in the mirror, filming myself, recording myself to see what's good, what's not so great. So I mean, a lot of it is me. I have my friends also that are helping me, friends that have experience in pageants, because I think it's
Yes.
important that people will help you like know about like pageants and what they're looking for now and what is good on stage and what's less good on stage.
Mhm.
But I think that lately, now that we're in the last crunch time, I've been like practicing every day. So I guess it's been mostly me
Okay.
being
That's
myself.
good. That's perfect. For as long as it works for you. You know, like most of my audience is from the Philippines, and in the Philippines, they have a very big, huge, like pageant system, you know, like with the camps and all, and they have trainers and this and that. But it's important for them to also see something else. Not every single country has the same support system as in the Philippines, for example. So the fact to see you, for example, who are doing most of it by yourself, but still want this just as much, you know, it's really inspiring. And
Yeah.
it's a beautiful message to put out there for girls, you know, outside of, you know, that are in any country of the world that are looking, that would like to do this, that would like to get into this type of pageants, but that they might feel a little bit, you know, alone in the process. So you still can do it. You just have to work hard for it, and you can make it too.
Exactly. You have to believe in yourself and keep your head up. And there's not all moments are moments where you're going to feel your best, but as long as you keep your head up and you have your family or a friend or just yourself, you can support yourself. We're strong women, and
Absolutely.
that's important. But I love the Miss Philippines pageants, and actually I love them so much. And I know that Jojo Brage is the sponsor for the shoes. I actually contacted him. I was like, I need you for Miss Grand International. For some reason, I was like convinced that these girls are walking so amazing because of the shoes. So I got myself 2 pairs for Miss Grand
Nice.
International. I was like, maybe these shoes are like magic, and I need them because these girls are just so amazing. Like every single one has an amazing walk, amazing face. And I was like, it's a mess.
Oh my God. Yes, Jojo is amazing. And definitely his shoes are just like something else outside of the world. So
Oh my gosh,
you will
yes.
do amazing with them. They're magic.
So the first runner-up, Samantha, last year, Miss Grand, she had a pair. I think she had multiple pairs actually. But I was looking during the swimsuit competition, and I was like, oh, I need those shoes. Like she walks so well. She has the perfect walk. So I got them.
Those shoes are amazing. Samantha was wearing them last year. He was also the sponsor for Miss Universe this year. So everyone in Miss Universe was wearing them. So very, very solid. You will be, you know, able to step hard on that stage.
I've been practicing in them. They're a little higher than I'm used to since I'm already like very tall
Yeah.
and platform. So I'm like a giraffe with them on, but
Yeah.
I'm just such a fan of the Miss Philippines pageant. So
Yes. Who doesn't love them? They're amazing.
so I love them.
For sure. I wanted to ask you, so have you decided yet for your final gown for the competition, or maybe your national costume, without disclosing anything that will get you in trouble?
Don't worry, don't worry. Okay, so for the national costume, I can give you a hint. It's going to be something vintage Paris inspired.
Ooh, okay.
Nothing like too like extra or anything. I really wanted something more traditional, but obviously like glam,
Yeah.
vintage Parisian glam. Like
Yeah.
my mom and I are such a fan of vintage fashion, so
Oh, I cannot wait to see it. Already vintage, French. You already had me there.
just a very I wanted something classic, timeless, like vintage but timeless at the same time. So nothing like there's not going to be any like extra pieces or like any huge thing that goes with it, but very
That's
fun.
very good. That's very good. It's all, you know, what really matters is how you present it and how you sell, you know, the entire attitude, everything on stage. So that's amazing. And talking about props on stage, you know, the gown and the national costume. I think that you had your crown and your sash that you wanted to show us.
I do. So my
Ooh.
crown
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
has the green like the Miss Grand International
Oh,
one.
that's stunning.
It's not.
And you look amazing on it. Oh my God. Guys, sana all. As we say in the Philippines, people say sana all means that I wish.
Sana is that?
Sana all.
And then my sash,
Oh, so beautiful.
and then has a little logo. And I was like, oh my God, like the grand logo, it's on my
That's so
but
cute.
for my preliminary gown,
Mhm.
I could also give you a hint.
Oh,
It's
we are taking hands today.
I'm just giving hints everywhere. It's inspired by the Moulin Rouge, which is an iconic Paris lieu, an iconic cabaret.
Yes.
I'll just say that, and it's made. It's going to be made by a young Filipino designer, because I think it's really important to use the platform to, put a spotlight on young designers that are willing to
Yes.
make something for you to wear on stage. So I really wanted to.
Yes, absolutely. I have a lot of Filipino friends who are designers, and I know how much, the visibility helps and how much they appreciate it. So even
Yeah.
you putting it out there, it's amazing. And I know that there's nothing announced just yet. So if you cannot say a name, that's perfectly fine. But I know that when it comes out, they will be so, so grateful for it.
Oh
So
yeah, absolutely. I'll put stories. I told him, I was like, I'm going to put your name everywhere. Like, just
and that's
thank
it.
you for making the dress, and I just want to give you the most visibility possible, because I don't only want the pageant to put me and put France in light. I also wanted to put people who are there behind you, helping you in light also. So I think
For
it's
sure.
important to
And I
showcase.
feel like it's such a beautiful message, that it's an international collaboration when you think about it, to put a candidate together. Yes, you are representing for France, but at the same time, you are, working with designers and working with other people to help you on your journey that come from all across the globe. So that's a
Yeah,
beautiful message.
absolutely. I'm happy. I'm very proud of our collaboration. So I can't wait for you to see. And actually, other than that, most of my wardrobe for like everyday activities is going to be a lot of secondhand clothes, because
Yes.
one of the, I guess, because that I stand for, one of the things that I stand for is like eco responsibility.
Oh,
So
I
secondhand,
love it.
reusing, avoiding fast fashion, and all of that. So
I
I
know
really,
that all the Montrealers watching this are super behind this right now because
yeah.
that's the Montreal style.
Oh yeah, my sister's in Montreal, and she just prix secondhand all day, and I've been adopting the lifestyle for the last like 10 years, I think, and I'm not gonna go back. I love it.
Fast fashion, we've never heard of it. What
No,
is that?
don't know what that is.
Amazing. In your opinion, Élodie, what is something that is going to be challenging during the competition? What is your biggest challenge? And what is something that you think, you will do very, very well at?
It's hard to answer because I'm someone who's very open. So I mean, my comfort zone is very large, but I think one thing that I'm like apprehending a bit is the bathing suit round, which is going to be like on the port and
Oh,
between the boats on the walk. And
okay.
I'm just so afraid like I'm gonna like either get my heel stuck in the wood things or something, like, or I'm gonna try to do a spin and like lose my balance and fall off to the side, or like a wave is going to hit or something. So I've been kind of afraid. I've been practicing like walking in a very straight line and turning in a very straight line to avoid anything. But I guess that's like the event wise, the thing that I'm apprehending the most.
Yeah.
And then the part that I think that I'll do the best in, and that I personally like I'm super comfortable with, is anything that has to do with like interviews, speaking, and all of that. Just because, like what I was saying before, I'm very open. I have the international mindset because of my, how I grew up and my background.
Yes.
So I, and I'm also in communications and marketing studies. So we're kind
Yeah.
of trained to do interviews and trained to speak. So that's the part that I guess I'm like apprehending the less. I love talking to people, and it's my favorite thing. So
Absolutely. You're doing amazing. I can attest to that. You're doing great.
thank you so much. You're easy to talk to. You're fun to talk to.
Oh, thank you. You're the best. And for the swimsuit, if you ever fall, if you ever trip, just make it look fashion.
I'll
You'll
go in the water and I'll be like, oh, I'm
be-
just visiting the fish. Beautiful fish here in Phuket.
I love it. Oh, so this year, since the competition is gonna be in Thailand, um, have you learned any Thai so far for the competition? A few words here and there?
So I did an interview a couple of days ago, an Instagram live interview.
Uh-huh.
And the person who interviewed me actually asked the same question. I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even think that I need to like maybe learn more phrases. I know like swaika, I think is hello. Kapunka obviously is thank you. That I learned last year during the interviews because all the girls said kapunka at the end of, of their but I'd like to learn like more phrases to be able to, you know, greet properly and say goodbye. Thank
Yes.
you so much and everything. So that's going to be in
Yeah,
the next
absolutely.
weeks of preparation. Now that I think my catwalk is pretty good and like my mental part is going along well, I'm going to have to focus on the language aspect.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't think it's mandatory or anything, but it's always refreshing when you see that a candidate is putting in the effort. And I think of Abrina this year, actually in 2020, when she competed, huh?
She went above and beyond. She was,
Above and beyond. Oh my God. I was just like, girl
I
did her homework.
I was looking at my phone. I was watching it. I was watching on my couch. I was in Berlin last year, so I was watching the show. And when she started speaking, I was like, no way. I didn't know that she like knew how to speak this well. I was like, I'm not expecting that.
Same. My sister said that, and I was like, my girl downloaded Duolingo Premium or
Oh
something.
my gosh, yeah. Like she put work in. I was like, wow, I can appreciate that. I was
Yes.
debating. I was like, I need to take some classes or something because that was really impressive.
Definitely. She did amazing. Definitely. So as you were saying earlier, so if you get the opportunity to become a title holder for Miss Grand International, this would represent the first crown for France. So what do you think it's something about you that is worthy of a title holder?
Rub your hands. Hard, hard question. No, I mean, like I'm gonna go back to what I was saying before. I'm very like open internationally. I have the open-minded aspect that I was raised with, and that I kept like I lived in the US until I was 18, and then I lived in France for 5 years, and last year I actually lived in Berlin for 1 year.
Wow.
I'm always looking for the international experience, like learning about new cultures, learning different like mentalities, mindsets, seeing how everyone is in different countries. I just love that. So I think that that's one thing that could really like, you know,
Mhm.
as a title holder, I think it's important to
Yes.
be culturally mindful, open, and internationally, I guess, to have knowledge. So I think that's one thing. But I mean, France hasn't, I think France has placed actually once in Miss Grand history,
Mhm.
in the top 20, but never more than that. I mean, obviously, if I get to the top 20, then that would just be absolutely amazing. But if I was in the real in like the top title holders, then I don't even know. Like I can't even comprehend. But I think
Absolutely.
that, yeah.
When you think about it, it's crazy because, there are so many candidates, and when you get there, everyone is so beautiful, everyone is so deserving. So regardless, and I always tell this like to any interviews that I'm doing, right? Because you can sense sometimes some girls are really like they want to like it's number one or nothing. And it's like, when you're in an environment with so many candidates that have like so much potential,
Mhm.
regardless of the outcome of the competition, the fact that you were already there, that's remarkable. Like that's already something, right?
Absolutely. I
And
think
like
we're
you
more than
said,
60 confirmed girls already. I
mhm,
believe it's more than 60, and I think that they
yeah,
announced that there'll be 70, around 70 girls, which is just a crazy number. And all of them are just the girls are like I was saying, we talk pretty regularly on our group, but they're all just so like intelligent, like funny, open, interesting, motivated.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I think that yes, it's still a competition. You have to keep that in mind. Like we're obviously all going because we want to win. We want the number one title, but just going is such an accomplishment. It's such like a life bucket list thing that
yes.
it's crazy. And I think we just have to enjoy the moment and be grateful for what we're going to live. And I'm just so happy. Like I was saying before, I can't even comprehend yet that I'm going to Thailand. It's always been like a dream of mine. I was supposed to go actually before our friend COVID hit,
Yeah.
and everything just, left. When they announced that it was in Thailand again this year, I was like, yes, I'm going to be able to go.
Victory, you win.
I'm already a winner. Like, this is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, for sure. So talking about Miss Grand International, so the main goal of the pageant is to stop wars and violence with their campaign, right? That's like the entire brand of the pageant. How do you think, coming from the perspective of France, that we can help resolve these issues?
Yeah. So, I mean, Miss Grand, that's obviously like an amazing message, an amazing thing to work towards. And I think the title holder has a lot of responsibility, to carry this message and use her newly found visibility to
Yes.
make it known. I know personally, if I have the honor to win, then I would use my platform, I'd use my voice to spread this message and see what we could do, maybe meet with like national leaders or people who have obviously like power in that sense, to see what kind of actions we can put in place. And I think it's super, super important to not only attach the message to the pageant, but actually spread the message and go and do the events. But yeah, I mean, personally, I went through something a year and a half ago that has to do with street violence, where I was attacked in the street, and I actually ended up spending the night in the hospital.
Oh my God.
And yeah, I had different like things, obviously, like he kicked me in the face. Like there was a whole bunch of things that went down, so I had to get a whole check, and it was pretty traumatic. But I decided that I didn't want what happened, that unfortunate event that happened to me, I didn't want it to define me. I didn't want to be labeled as the girl that went through that and that had street violence and that needs to be afraid now when she goes out. And I really wanted to use that experience and create a stronger me with it. And that's
Yes.
why I vibe, like I'm very in tune with the Miss Grand message to stop the war and violence, because violence, unfortunately, it's everywhere now, every country,
Everywhere.
every town. And yeah, I think it's very important as a title holder to spread the message and actually do the actions that go along with it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you. I love that. And I feel like honestly it's such an inspiration that you decided to become like a spokesperson for this, right? That you used this negative experience that happened to you, and you decided to turn it into something positive by talking about it, bringing it to an international stage and bringing visibility to it, right? So already that's remarkable. So honestly, props to you for going that route.
Thank you so much. We're not defined by unfortunate things that happen to us. We're
Yeah.
strong, and you have to keep your head up and keep going. So it's hard, but anyone who's going through it, you can get through it. Reach out if you need. I'm always available to talk via Instagram, anywhere. And yeah, I just
Yes, absolutely. And there are so many, different forms of violence out there. It's not just physical violence, but it's just like so much going on in the world. So pageants like Miss Grand International are very, very necessary to bring awareness, um, to bring positivity, to bring a message of hope, other than the entertainment aspect of a pageant and, and the beautiful side of it, like the competition. There is still a very strong message at its core. And that's what really, really matters.
exactly. And in 2021, pageants aren't just like the physical beauty and like how
Mhm.
you walk, how your body looks, how your face looks. It's more, now I feel like it's more of what you bring to the table in terms of your personality, of what message you have with you. And it's like everything, it's evolving, and
Yeah.
it's evolving for personally, it's evolving in a positive way, because
Yeah.
now not only are we doing a beauty pageant, but we're doing a beauty pageant with a message. And I think that's the most important part, that we all have different things that nous tient à cœur, that are important to us, and that we're spreading the message, and we're using the platform, and we're using the newly, because obviously every day we're getting like new followers, we're getting a lot of messages, and we're using the platform to spread positivity, like you were saying. So
Yeah.
it's super important for me, and that's why I'm so excited to participate.
Love it. Absolutely. So excited for your journey as well. And talking about your journey, I have one more question for you, the last one. So for the people watching us right now, how can we help you on your journey? How can we encourage you? Where can we find you on social media in order to make this journey more, easier and more pleasant for you?
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, if you do wish to support me, just a big thank you. Obviously, there's my Instagram, which is just Élodie Sirulnick. I mean, I think that if you type Miss Grand France, it should show up as well. I'm someone I really I accept and I appreciate positive criticism, which means that if you have something to say, if you think that I can improve on something, don't hesitate. Send me a message. Like I was saying, like right now I'm really focusing on like fine tuning everything. So I really appreciate any messages that I could have coming in. And I mean, obviously, like on the more basic side for support, liking content that has to do with me or writing a comment for France would be amazing. We're not, Miss Grand isn't like the most known pageant in France, so unfortunately I don't have like many supporters. So I would be very grateful if you want to support me to go ahead and comment and like and share my post or post on Miss Grand International that have to do with me. And thank you.
Yes. Please, everyone, if you're watching, please do go and follow, go and support. I will leave all of Elodie's links in the description, in the comment section as well, so you guys can find her easily. Élodie, oh my God, qu'est-ce que je peux te dire? Qu'est-ce que je peux te dire? J'ai tellement, so I really, really loved spending this time with you and getting to know you more on a personal level. Thank you not only for being so down to earth, but also for being so open, so accessible. It's honestly been a pleasure. If I can help you in any way, shape, or form with my platform, on my channel, with my Instagram, whatever I can do for you, I'm just one DM away. Okay.
Thank you so much. Merci, Luis. I really love spending this time with you. Thank you so much for giving me also an opportunity to share a little bit of more of me and my life. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you. Merci du fond du cœur. And yeah, I really want to stay myself. I'm very open, down to earth, and I'm not going to, really like change because I want to stay 100% my genuine self. So merci, 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 merci.
Ça fait tellement plaisir. And for everyone watching us, thank you so much for staying with us until the end. I will see you next time with another episode of Extraordinary Talk. Until then, stay safe, take care of one another, and I'll see you soon. Bisous. Kisses. Bye.